Welcome to everybody to my studio. Ciao Massimo, ciao Andrea. Nice to see you again on my studio for this session about the new amazing features of Fractal Audio Dynacab. Ciao Alessandro. Hi guys. Pietro. Teo Drira, hello. Where are you from, Teo? So let's wait some other friends that join this session. Jens, welcome Jens. Happy to see you. Okay. France, yeah. Very nice. Okay, guys. So let's start with these new amazing features of Fractal Audio. At the moment, it's available only for beta version and for XFX 3. I don't know what is the future about this feature, but I hope that it will be at least available for FM9 at least. I don't know for FM3 due to the I think performance issue, but let we'll see. Of course, Cliff Chase as every time a surprise for everybody. So what is Dynacab? First of all, where you can get the new firmware 22. So let's go to the forum, the Fractal forum. I show you. This is the Fractal forum. You have the possibility to the XFX3 discussion to download the beta version. Remember, it is a beta version. Is not the official version at the moment, of course. So if you wanted to install the beta version, please don't forget to backup your presets and also the parameters, the layout, and so on and so on. Okay, I'm using without any problem, but when the firmware is beta, it is your responsibility what's happened about. You cannot claim anything if something occurs on your unit. Okay, hi Darren. Hi down. Your mic is too quiet compared to the music in the background. Sorry. Okay. My mic is it is a dynamic mic. It is SM7, so it is necessary to speak inside. So this is the problem. Otherwise, you can feel everything about the ambient. This is the problem, guys. Sorry for this, but raise up your volume if you want to hear me. Okay. So now the music disappears, and I am ready to present you to show you what is the new features. First of all, download the firmware on the official Fractal forum and take the occasion to subscribe to this forum because it is really important. If you are Fractal users, you have to be in. If you are not a Fractal user, you have to be in again because you can get a lot of information about this. So. Okay, there is some guidelines to follow before to install the firmware because firmware is not yet official. So as you can see here, there is a first of all to download the new Fractal bot beta version to install it, and you have to follow every instruction regarding this. Okay, so read the instruction step by step because you have to install the firmware first of all and the Dynacab databank. I will explain you what is Dynacab later on. There is some release notes. Don't forget to read the release notes. So you have to read the release note before to install. Because some people claims, oh, I installed the new firmware and I lose my preset, I cannot do this and that. Okay, but did you read the release note? No, I have to read. I not yet read. Okay, so it is. You cannot claim in that case. So before to do anything, you have to read the release notes. So there is also another. Okay, there is the Fractal box. There is the firmware file. In the firmware file, you have two files. One is the firmware. One is the Datacab file with all Datacab inside. And also there is the new software available. Let me check where you can find it. I don't know. Access edit here. Okay. You have the new version of Fractal Edit 1.13. It supports for firmware 22. This is the official version. It's not a beta version, but if you try to check the automatic update from the previous version, the 1.12, you cannot have the alert that there is the new version. So you have to install it manually. But it's not a beta version. It's official version, but it's necessary to get the most of the benefit of the new firmware. Okay, that I will show you later on. Okay. Okay. There is a question from Theo. The new Dynacab. I have a question. How is the micing on the legacy version of every cab? Close micing, for example, if you use Dynacab with the perfect close micing, will sound like the legacy version. Dynacab is completely different. Okay, I will show you. It's completely different. So after you install it, the install procedure is pretty easy. First of all, you have to install the firmware as usual. Then you have to reboot the unit. You get an alert, but everything is described in the forum. So it's 4 steps, nothing else. Extract the firmware, this and that, and so on. So you have to follow only 4 steps, and this is pretty easy. Ciao Marco. Well, what is Dynacab? Dynacab is, to me, it is one of the most important features introduced with Fractal devices. And let you until up to now you have the impulse responses, okay, like this. Impulse response or factory cab, you can call as you want. You can install external impulse response, or you can use the factory cab. But the factory cab, in any case, are impulse response, are based on impulse responses. Okay. You can select on a bank, okay, you can select this and that and so on. You know the difference between select a different cabinet, a different microphone, different positions, and so on. And of course, you have to spend a lot of time to match the amp with the proper cabinet. Okay, my job when I create my preset is to find out the best matching between the amp and the cabinet, of course based on my taste, but it is a long job because I have to select this cabinet, for example, okay, with SM57 microphone, okay, it sounds good, but bass frequency is missed, so I have to select a different microphone or combine this and that, and so on and so on and so on. It's a long job, let's say. Now the Dynacab is totally different. I try to work with my last free preset, MF Recti. You can find on the g66.eu website. So this is and I will update this preset with the Dynacab and you will find after this tutorial. Okay, well, when you install the new software and new firmware, first of all, you can see here the type of the cabinet is legacy. It's not anymore like in the past. I don't remember what is the name. Maybe type, maybe it is new. But you can select Dynacab or legacy. Well, so let this channel with the legacy cabinet and let's create a new cabinet based on the Dynacab. So I selected the channel C, okay, selected Dynacab, and wow, the screen changed. Of course, you have to have the new version 1.13. Okay, I describe you where you can download. I will also after this tutorial will put the direct link to download. Okay. Well, what is Dynacab? Dynacab, it is a really advanced method to handle the cabinet. It is, let's say, a bunch of inputs responses combined together and mixed together, and you can tweak the cabinet like in the real world. So you can put the microphone in front, on the border, with a different distance. You can combine condenser microphone, dynamic microphone, ribbon microphone, and so on, like you are in the real world. So, to find the best sound, you have to move the microphone around the speaker to find let's say, the hot spot, the sweet spot, where the microphone give you the best sound. Until now, this was not possible with the standard input response, because you have to find the proper input response. Of course, you can equalize, you can put a lot of parameters, but if you wanted to change the microphone or the position of the microphone, you had to change the input responses. Now it is different. To do this, okay, Fractal create, let's say, you can imagine a data bank of several input responses, and there is a system that mixes together the input responses to give you the real feel of the mic position changing. Okay. Thank you, Basti. Hi, Basti. Great, Basti. I will wait. I'm waiting. What do we do about this? So sorry for this, but I hope that you will have a Dynacab as soon as possible. So when you install the cabinet, you have this different dashboard. If you go to this field and press the field, you have this list. It is completely different. You have not the standard picker where you have the all amount of impulse response. You have at the moment there are 25 impulse response, but in the future the cabinet available will be more. Okay, now we are in the beta version of this. You have some different cabinet. 1x10 Princeton, Metro Blues, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, so now, for example, I'm using I have the dual rectifier amp. So now I can select, for example, the rector slant or rector light that I think that this cabinet can match perfect with this amp. Then I can select different microphone condenser, dynamic, and ribbon. And the difference between this, you cannot select a specific microphone, SM57 or AKG 414 or the typical Royer 121. Okay, you have three options. That means you have the typical behavior of the condenser microphone. So condenser microphone has a huge range of frequency. Dynamic is focused on the high frequency, mid and high frequency. Ribbon microphone is dark sound, so as a low frequency. And of course, you can select and mix together any microphone. It is a really advanced method to handle the speakers, like in the real world. So the other difference, you can select the level, you can select the pan pot, and you have these new features, these new parameters, where you can change the position and the distance. You can use these knobs, but also you can click on the blue button and move the button on the around the speaker, and you can see how the knobs react when you move the button. So let's start to check what means to use with the Dynacab. I get my guitar. Okay, this is the cabinet that I select with the preset you can find on the G66 website. So let's okay, I can switch on and off. Okay, so you already know this issue. Let's try with the Dynacab what's happened. I select the rectus length, condenser microphone, and position in the default value. So let's try to select a different microphone or different cabinet. Let's stay on the rectus length. Rectus length is a rectifier cabinet slant shape. And try to change the microphone. Dynamic microphone, that means it is in the range of the SM57, so the sound is brighter than before, less bass frequency. And the ribbon microphone sounds darker than the other. So this is the main three microphone style: condenser, dynamic, and ribbon. And you can select that. Let's try to, for example, select the dynamic microphone and try to move the spot here. Okay, I can change the microphone, the condenser, for example. Okay, so as you can see, or can hear, the sound change exactly as in the real world. When you move the microphone around the speaker, the sounds change like in this case. So if you, for example, you are in the cab with the dynamic, the sound is really bright. If you go to the border, you have more bass frequency and less high frequency, exactly like in the real world. And this feature is not, let's say, an EQ mode. As I told you, there is in the dynamic cab there is a lot of input response combined together, and when you move the blue spot, you change between different impulse responses. So to have you cannot use anymore the previous impulse responses, the previous factory cabinet. You have to use the Dynacab data bank. So you can only use at the moment these 25 cabinets, and of course in the future I expect that will be more cabinet like that. But if you want to go if you want to do this, the factory cabinet, you have to use the legacy, okay, and okay, this is completely different. You cannot use, and also you cannot mix the Dynacab with the previous cabinet, okay. You can also select different cabinet, like this 1960 TV. I love this cabinet. Maybe this cabinet is much better with JCM, for example. Let me check the typical G Brit. Looper. Is it clear? So now you have not anymore to select different impulse response. You select the cabinet, and you can handle the cabinet as in the real world. So to change the microphone, to change the position of the microphone in the space of the microphone. But in any case, what is really important is you have, in any case, the impulse response environment. And this is really important because in the past, other cabinet can permit to have similar solution, but was not based on the impulse responses, are based on the EQ. And EQ is only a static filter. This is dynamic filter, so it's a filter that works in the time. So you can see a 1 millisecond, 2 milliseconds, and 3 milliseconds. You have also these informations. Okay. Well, what is important is on the amp block, you have an important parameter on the speaker section, where now the speaker impulse curve is not anymore relevant when you have the auto Dynacab selected, because you can change anything here, but the curve remains the same because the curve are affected by the cabinet itself. And this is really important because before you have to select the cabinet, and you also have to select the resonant curve based on the list of the cabinet. For example, the Citrus, Orange cabinet, the Brit 800, the Greenback, and so on and so on. But and many times you don't know exactly the curve if you have custom impulse responses. Now, if you use the Dynacab, automatically the amp block get the impulse curve directly from the cabinet, and this is also another new very important impedance. Sorry, Javel, you are right, absolutely. Sorry for my mistake. Speaker impedance curve, sorry. And now the curve is let's say affected by the Dynacab. Not anymore. You can select anything, but this is not relevant for the amp block itself. And this is a new important improvement on the cab. Another important thing is the cabinet. The Dynacab means more CPU power. Okay, if you use the Dynacab, you need more CPU, and this is the reason that we have to take care if these features will be available on FM3. I think will be available on FM9, but I have no info regarding this at the moment. Now it is only available for XFX3. I expect it should be available for FM9 Turbo. Why? Because if you see the CPU power now, if I select the standard cabinet, you can see how is the reduction of the CPU performance when you use the standard impulse responses. So for sure, this is a new technology, is an amazing technology. Need power, of course, because there is a lot of calculation behind this, and of course that means you need more CPU. I don't know if FM3 will be available. Okay, maybe will be, but you have to let's say cancel some other features. So you can use only the amp, cabinet, and reverb, for example. I don't know. We'll see. Really cool improvement. Yes, I absolutely agree with you. And trying to this future is another dimension now to understand. Yes, absolutely, Andrea. It is really another dimension because you can tweak the amp. So I love the modeler instead of the profiler. You know this because you can tweak the amp like in the real world. So you have not a pictures of the amp. And for example, if you have I love Bogner Ecstasy, okay, but Bogner Ecstasy has a lot of switch and settings, the bright 1, bright 2, boost, modern, classic, EQ, and so on and so on. If you have the profiler, you have to profile any kind of combinations because the profiler make the pictures of the status of the amp itself. And for this reason, I love the modeler because with the modeler, you have the exact behavior of the real amp in your hands, in the virtual mode, of course. But this is possible only for the amp, was not possible for the cabinet because, as I told you before, cabinet, I have to select the impulse response. And the impulse response is a picture of the cabinet plus the microphone, but in that position, that microphone, okay, in that position in terms of speakers and the distance of the speakers. So if you want to have a different position of the microphone, you have to create another impulse response. Now, also the cabinet becoming the world where you can tweak the cabinet as you want. And this is, to me, is really amazing. Really amazing because you have the cabinet and you can tweak microphone and different. Of course, this technology will improve, need power because you have to imagine it is a combination of different impulse response because in any case, the technology of the impulse response is still remain behind this. You don't see this, but is still in to guarantee the real feeling because at the end, we have the real feeling of the cabinet. Makes no sense if, like in the past, we work with a static filter. Static filter is, let's say, is not realistic. Okay. Telon, ciao Telon. This looks like similar to what they did with Helix Firmware 3.5. Not sure how the different under the hood, whatever. I don't know exactly if they work with the impulse response or not. I don't try. I didn't try these features. I know that Helix has a similar, but I don't know the technology behind this. Okay, so let's make some tests. For example, let's come back to this. Recti. Okay, there is another question from Javi Altonaga. Yes, okay, you can tweak with IR. Yes, you have also this, the cabinet here change, but you can also select the low cut and the high cut. You have the preamp, so you can define the low cut as before. And also you have the room and the air. So the only change is on these two panels. From the preamp room and the line is the same. Corrado, you feel the legacy impulse response still sound much better. It's up to you, Corrado. It is a matter of taste. Of course, the quality of the impulse, up to now, we have only these 25 impulse response, if 25 cabinet. If you have your preferred cabinet, of course, you'll love that and you want to live with that. So, of course, you can continue to use the standard impulse response. If you find your perfect cabinet, okay, you can continue to use it with that. This is a new technology, a new feature. For example, I try. Let me show another patch that this is another patch that I make with my favorite amp, the Bogner Ecstasy, with the cabinet 1960. This is the new patch. This is the patch with the standard impulse response. What can I say? To me, now this sounds really nice. But pay attention. It's not that Dynacab doesn't mean that is better or not. Don't. You have to understand well. Dynacab, it is another method to create to handle the cabinet, but the quality of the impulse response, in any case, depends of how the impulse responses are created. So this means if the quality is bad, the Dynacab is bad. If the impulse response is good, is good. So I am convinced, and I believe in you if you say I prefer my impulse response. Of course, because if you find the right impulse response, it works, and that's it. Dynacab is not a new, let's say, impulse response. It is always the same. From the sound is the same. It is the method you find out you tweak the cabinet to get the proper sound. It's different. It's different method, but the quality itself doesn't mean that it's better or not. I hope that you understand this, because some people that believes that, okay, Dynacab, wow, amazing. No. If you have amazing impulse response, you can continue to use that, because Dynacab is a new technology, new method to work with a more realistic behavior, and this doesn't mean that the final result is better or not. It, of course, is up to you, is up to your creativity and so on. Okay. To me, this is fantastic, because I spent a lot of time to find the correct impulse response, to match the impulse response with the cabinet and so on. Now I have a new method. So I can select the cabinet, I can check the cabinet with the proper microphone and tweak. But of course, in this list, I need to have much more options as possible, because now there are only 25 cabinets. 25 cabinets, that means let's say, I think 500 impulse response in the standard method. It is like if you don't find on the factory cab your impulse response, and you need to buy a custom impulse response. For example, I use a lot of Valhalla impulse response because I love it. Okay, I can continue to use Valhalla because I found my Santo Graal. Okay, I hope that Valhalla will develop the same Dynacab also for Fractal, and so I will be happy. Okay. Claudio Pioli, I prefer Dynacab to be fast and immediate to send the right sound. Yes, exactly, Claudio. It is much more immediate to get because some people ask me what is the best impulse response, how to do this and that and so on. Now is much more intuitive method to match the cabinet with the amp. Amazing endless possibilities. Exactly, Javi Altonaga. And also, do you have a possibility to emulate the inclination of the mic? No, at the moment the inclination is not available. Especially with dynamic mix, I recall the inclination made it a lot of different in terms of capture. In fact, no, the inclination of the microphone is not. At the moment, you can only have the cap, the position from the center and the distance. At the moment you have not the. I know what you mean. It is especially with the dynamic microphone like SM57. You can also make some inclinations and you have different response, of course. I think honestly that this is embedded in the impulse responses. So who makes the impulse response provide itself to find out the best inclination for the microphone to get the position. This is okay. I believe in this. So, but I should ask to the people that makes the impulse responses to answer to this question. Phase problem? No, I don't find any phase problem. I can show you. For example, I can mix this cabinet 1960 TV with Friedman, but you have not a phase problem. And also you can check the phase with the align method. You can see here how the phase is. Of course, if you change the distance, you start to have a phase problem. But this is exactly what happened in the real world. Because to make the profiles. Because sometimes people they think that to make the profile it's necessary, it's enough to put the microphone in front of the speaker and that's it. No, absolutely. Especially when you have to make a profile with a different microphone, you can get a phase problem just like that. Because you can see that if you change the distance, you have if you have two impulse responses combined together, and the distance are different, you can have exactly this problem. This is a phase problem. So the phase behavior is another time under your hands. So you can control, you can check, you can control the phase issue with this panel. It is amazing. Oh, you have also the zoom functionality. Oh, this is nice. Zoom shows in 12 milliseconds what's happened. So you can imagine how many information you have in this area, and you have not this information typically when you use the EQ mode. Is it possible to export a Dynacab configuration? No, there is no. I think that I tried to click on the right. No, there is not possible to export the impulse response because to do that you have to have the external mixer. So Dynacab, it is let's say a list it is a bunch of impulse responses combined together, but you cannot export the mixing of this impulse response. Okay. We can also check with another preset, for example, the bus guy presets. The sounds from a vintage amp. Let's try to work with the Dynacab. Okay, select Dynacab. Let me check if there is something that's similar. Maybe this 2x12 55. Let's try this. Oh, so nice. So this is the standard. Check to dynamic. I can also change, for example, the Tweed. So let's check the ribbon. This is perfect. For example, the ribbon microphone is better to put in the middle, because if it is too close to the cabinet, it is too much bass frequency. So this is perfect. I can add, for example, another 1x12 dynamic. Okay, this is the I don't know if you like this one or this one. I like this one, for example. Change the cabinet. Okay, the Super G4 6. Oh. You can hear what is the difference with the standard. Okay, we can also limit the frequency to cutting the low cut. Okay, amazing. So it is a time to change all the presets to the new one. Okay, can get the factory presets, for example, blah blah blah, the Brit 800. Okay. So let's change the Dynacab on the. I think the best choices could be the 1960. Let's mute this one. Let me. Change the sound of this one. Okay, let me. Okay. This is the standard. So in this case, I would like to try the dynamic. Change the position with the what I know in this area. And I can add the, for example, the same cabinet, but with the ribbon microphone with the middle distance. Wow, nice. Okay, I also changed the reverb with the medium plate. That I love this. Medium plate. Nice. Can I also make the template with the dynamic cabs in the cabinet? Absolutely yes, because in the library you can save the, for example, library 1960 TV Dynacab. Okay. And of course I saved this configuration. If I wanted to use this configuration, for example, with the Plexi 50, okay, I go here, I change the library, 1960 TV DC, and yeah, I got immediately the previous configuration. Okay, I have to create a wide sound, like because everything is mono. I use the stereo tape. Check different cabinet like Friedman Greenback, maybe is better for this amp. Ah, yeah. So nice. What is really nice, guys, is don't fix your mind that, oh, I have to use the dynamic. Try every combination, because sometimes from the different and strange combination you can get the best sound. Of course, absolutely. Okay, let me check some my presets. This is sound is perfect. This cabinet is blah blah blah. It is this one. It's a combination of this is casual combination between 1960 with the Friedman V30. It's, I don't know. This is another combination, three different cabinets. And this is the same preset but with the standard input suspension. I don't know what you prefer, but very nice. Okay, we can find, for example, let's try to find out a new, completely new presets with the. Let's say, let me try a preset with the Fender. For example, no, sorry, cabinet. The typical. Okay, what can I have? Let me check. Dynacab. I have the Princeton. Okay, let's try to the Princeton amp. So I go to the Princeton. Let me check what. Sorry, I typed wrong. Prince. Yeah, okay. Let's check this one, for example. Okay, let's create the input, the output. Okay. 1, 2. Let's check. So I have to switch on the amp. Let's put some bit of reverb. Gain. We can change different. Nice, really nice. Go to the cabinet. I can also add the dynamic. I can slightly pan. Wow. Okay, very nice. Perfect. Yellow LED better would sound amazing with that setting. Yeah, what is yellow LED better? I don't know. So if you want to add a bit of, for example, where is it? We can make a compressor here. So let's try the optical. It is my favorite. Okay, I enjoy too much. So if you have other questions, otherwise, okay. I hope this tutorial is quite nice for you. If you see this tutorial later on, you can write down your comment, your questions, and of course, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channels or the G66 YouTube channels, and you can follow me also on the Facebook page, Marco Fanton, not in the private profile but in my official page, and you can put any question. So thank you so much, guys. Remember to put a like on this tutorial if you like it, of course, because if you put the like, you help me to spread this video everywhere. And in case, please share the video on your profile, on your other groups, and so on. So you make me a lot of favor to me and also for other people and to your friends. So thank you so much for your attention, and see you later. Thank you so much, guys. Well, I go. Have a nice weekend. Ciao, ciao.